اندی حق بازی یه چند وقتی انسان میتواند یک کاری رو پیش ببرد، ولی این کار دائمی نمیتواند باشد. چنته هر کسی که تو خالی باشد بالاخره معلوم شد.
Thank you very much, Payman, for joining me today again. I forgot to ask you, Payman, you can also stream it from your platform if you want.
I believe I am. I'm streaming to X and YouTube.
Okay, great. So it's just we're collaborating on this one. That's fine. So Payman, thank you again for joining me to my podcast. There is a lot of drama going on in BC, specifically about OneBC party. A lot of people just like me, we had high hopes with the Dallas Brody and Tara Armstrong. We saw a great team. We realized eventually there is a team actually hearing British Columbian voice. A lot of voices that have been boycotted in the last 2-3 elections. But somehow things changed suddenly. We realized there's a lot of drama going on. There's a lot of conflict between Dallas Brody and everyone else, like Paul, Tara Armstrong. I want to ask you, give me a complete rundown, like how, first of all, how OneBC got serious, how Dallas Brody joined OneBC, how was the movement, and then what happened, and then, yeah. Go ahead. So I'll ask my questions as we go along.
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me. For the audience, I never claimed to be an expert. I just like Ehsan, I've just been addicted to politics the last few years. So I just I listen to other people. I have my own podcast, and that's where these opinions of mine are coming from. So originally in BC, we had the BC NDP party and our version of the Provincial Liberal Party, which I believe is called BC United. It's what it was called. And a couple of people, one of them was a former PPC candidate, Sean Taylor. They got together and they said, listen, there's this old defunct party called BC Conservative Party. It's not really, I don't even know if they had candidates or anything. They said, let's resuscitate it. And let's try to turn it into a provincial version of the PPC. So it's this populist BC party that represents the true intentions of the BC people.
But they are totally different entities, because a lot of people, they may hear us from all around the world, and they may not have any idea about how the political system works in Canada. But provincial and federal parties, they're separate entities. They are not.
For the most part, they are. So let's just say that they're all like completely separate. So the federal Conservative Party is different from the provincial BC Conservative Party, and the federal Liberal Party is different from the provincial BC United Party. When I use the word liberal, sorry, I meant like lowercase l liberal, like they're left of center. So Sean Taylor and a couple of other people, they get this party, they resuscitate it. They're hoping to turn it into a populist party. And then a whole bunch of people get involved and they push him out. The gentleman that almost came back, Aaron Gunn, and his friends, Aisha, Isadora, I believe, they were involved in this. But also, according to Sean Taylor, so was Tara Armstrong. And that's why he doesn't really trust her. But anyway, this party got taken over, and a lot of money and a lot of support came in from the mainstream establishment, the Uni Party. And the BC Conservative Party, it started out as the, like the slightly right of center, lowercase c Conservative Party. So what we had federally with the Federal Conservative Party, we eventually settled on provincially with the BC Conservative Party. And then the BC United Party, which was the left of center, lowercase l Liberal Provincial Party, it imploded. So the leader of the BC Conservative Party, John Rustad, he just started picking up these candidates from basically a left of center party. And like it kind of made sense at first, where you say, well, we want to win, so let's take one or two strong candidates. But then it got to the point where it just turned into the Liberal Party. So like nothing changed. The BC United Party imploded. The BC Conservative Party sold out all its values, and it became the de facto Liberal Party. And along the way, they fired and they either kicked out or threw under the bus, like with Stephen Malthouse and Jan Webb, or they just completely ignored until they left away, like with Sean Taylor and Corinne Maury, all of these candidates that actually were populist. Like, so anybody that was speaking out against the vaccine, they got rid of them. Dallas Brody, somehow, Tara Armstrong got in because, in my opinion, she's not really that far right of center. I would just say she's centrist. Dallas Brody somehow got in. I believe she said something that John Rustad didn't agree with, and she got kicked out of the party. And when she got kicked out, two other people. It's all about
indigenous reconciliations. So basically, she spoke up.
I believe so. I just do you know? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm assuming that was something that it created a lot of drama, and it backfired on her. And it's kind of these indigenous rights and all these reconciliation is a new Holocaust in Canada. So if you talk about it, I would say the establishment, the Uniparty, they don't like it, and they somehow you just cross the red line. That's somewhere you're not allowed to touch. It's totally
You're absolutely
untouchable.
Right. I can't remember if you say that's the reason, then all right. But for whatever reason, they kicked her out, and Tara Armstrong went with her, and Jordan Keeley, I think his name is. Tara Armstrong and Dallas Brody, they decided to form a new political party. But Jordan Keeley, his whole philosophy is the problem is the political party. So he's gone as an independent, and he refused to join in any party. So Tara Armstrong and Dallas Brody, they're doing their own whole thing. They're asking the tough questions in the provincial legislature. And to be honest, like, to me, the party was Dallas Brody. Like, Tara Armstrong, I don't know, maybe she was shy, but I never saw very much from her. And then they came out with this documentary about the First Nations. I can't remember what it was called. Body of Lies.
I don't remember either. Yeah.
I might be making it up, but
it got viral. Like, people watched that documentary. Yeah, I mean,
I think when that happened, the Uniparty, the establishment, they kind of realized, like, we made a big mistake, because she's asking tough questions and they can't silence her because legally she's in the legislature. So they had to figure out.
She has studied law. She understands law.
Yeah, I heard she's very smart, and you're right. She understands law. So, like, when she went to the universities, she knew what lines not to cross so that she wouldn't get arrested, for example.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think they had to nuke her party. So there was an incident. I mean, as I understand it, there was a gentleman who made some comments that were right of center, Othman.
And you can name Othman. Othman what?
Tim Othman? Was it something Othman? But
no, yeah, it wasn't Tim. Definitely, it was totally like some sort of Arabic. Indian.
Yeah, I'm surprised I even remember his last name because I'm horrible with names. But
I can find that for you. Give me a second. What, Othman? Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead, Payman. Payman, give me better details. I want to know what exactly happened. What Othman posted. What was the position of Dallas Brody about her post? And I have one question I want you to answer. Why like most of Canadian political parties, I see OneBC as a right political party. They're always shy about being a nationalist. What's wrong with nationalism? Why, like, in their mind, paying so much respect to your flag and to your land and to your country and to your culture is considered a bad thing? I was in one of the spaces that the one party supporters, and somebody asked, no, it was, you guys are nationalists. And the guy would say, no, we are not nationalists. We don't care about nationalism. Do you think it's nationalist to say, oh, immigrations are killing our jobs and just killing or the fabric of our society? It's not being. So they basically, something I want to, once you're going and talking about what's going on with OneBC and all this drama, and I want better details, like more details, more in-depth details. Somehow I want you to touch on that too.
Okay, I can touch on that right now. We'll go back to the details.
Okay.
The reason that the word nationalism is bad is because the Nazis, in their name, was the National Socialist Party of Germany.
Right.
And after World War II, America needed an enemy to go to, as an excuse to go around the world and bomb everything to smithereens. And that excuse was the Nazis, the National Socialists. So that word is just, it's been misunderstood. But that's the reason why the word, when you say nationalist, people have that gag reflex.
Mhm.
But the second part of your question, which is why do people feel it's bad to love their country? That's because of this brainwashing since the 60s to, multiculturalism. That
Right.
people think it's from Justin Trudeau, but this is from Pearson's era. There was a bicultural and bilingual commission, and in that they decided that basically we're not going to be a bicultural country, English and French. We're going to be multicultural. And ever since then, this woke mind virus has
But
spread.
it's got nothing to do with being nationalist. Like I can give you an example from a lot of countries. There are a lot of people with different dialogues living in that country. Like take India, for example. Like, do you know how many languages, how many dialogues people are speaking? How many the different cultures that they exist in India, and people are living with those cultures. So and they all, I'm sure they have a lot of love for their country, for their flag, for their hometown. But it's just two different things. Like you can be a multicultural country, but still have a lot of love for your country, for your land, and for your flag. That's somehow something I don't get, to be honest with you.
No, and I understand where you're coming from. You and I, we're both, Iranians by birth, and if you look at Iran, not only do they have multiple ethnicities, they have multiple cultures. Like every region of Iran has its own fashion, architecture, language, accents, whatever. But it still gets along, and they're still proud of being Iranian. I guess the answer I have for you is that since the 60s, Marxism has taught people to hate themselves.
Mhm.
It's a tool that they use. So if you can teach women to hate men, you can break the country up and you can tax them easier, control them easier. Same thing with culture.
Okay, give me all the details, all the drama.
Okay.
I forgot what happened.
What was the guy's name? Did you figure it out?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I got distracted.
I think it was Othman, but so I don't want to say something.
Osman Makhloufi.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with Othman. Yeah, I'm just going to call him Othman.
Othman Makhloufi. And then KH is Makhloufi, but I'm sure Canadians, they cannot say, so they go with Makhloufi or something similar, but actual last name is Makhloufi. And to me, it's some sort of Arabian name and last name. Makhloufi is very Arabian.
Yeah, it's definitely not an Irish name.
No, okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to put words in his mouth, but Othman said something. I mean, if you go based on what's on social media, he supported the Holocaust. He's evil. He's a Nazi. I don't know what he said, but he said something that rubbed Dallas Brody the wrong way. And I think what he was trying to say is, like, this is popular amongst the youth, like with this Nick Fuentes stuff. And Dallas is like, I don't want to go in that direction. On the other side, you had Wyatt Claypool, who's a self-described Zionist. So he believes he vehemently disagreed with Othman. And something happened that Dallas Brody turned to her two staffers, Tim and Paul, and she said, fire this guy, Othman. And Tim and Paul, they dragged their feet, and then eventually they fired him, but they didn't. They shuffled him to a different department. And she got pissed off and she said, Tim, Paul, you're fired. Now, the problem with that is those two people that she fired, Tim and Paul, for not executing her decision to fire Othman, those two were on the board. So I don't know if you've ever run a company, but like if you have people on the board, you generally don't want to hire those people. And if you do, you don't want to fire them because they're 50% of the 4-person board. So she fires Tim and Paul, and which was completely irresponsible on her part, because Tim and Paul, they went crying to Tara Armstrong, and they're like, Dallas is so mean, we don't like her. So they voted Dallas off the island, sort of, and
That's right.
threw
That's
out the
crazy.
leader of the party.
Okay, so let me rephrase what you just said. There were two guys. When the first person was Othman Makhloufi, with his Arabic name, I don't know, or Othman. And so this guy you mentioned, he posted some stuff on X about basically anti-Israel kind of stuff, right? Like far right, far right, anti.
Sure, but far right.
Sem-
I don't know what he said.
I don't know what's that, but I'm assuming. And then you have the other guy which called himself a Zionist, right? What's his name?
Wyatt Claypool.
White Claypool. Okay, so you have two people that basically they have ideologically conflicting each other, and you decide you have to make a decision here. Like you cannot go south and north at the same time. So you decided to. So Dallas Brody, she decides to get rid of Othman guy, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and you're absolutely right. That's what happened. But you asked about nationalists. There are a lot of nationalists in Canada, and the nationalists hate Wyatt Claypool because nationalists believe Canada should be Canada first, not Palestine first, not Israel first. But anyway, that's their opinion. So they
which
hate
is
Wyatt
the
Claypool.
definition of being a nationalist. You take care of your own home. You like to be nice. You want to help other countries. You want to be part of solution to the worldwide problem, but you keep your interests first. First of all, you make a decision to make sure you have proper healthcare. You have like jobs, like youngest students when they graduated from a school, they have somewhere to work. The Canadian dreams still exist, and then you say, okay, now I'm in a good shape. Now this is the time, so I want to fix the world. But not being a nationalist means, and being like your ideology driving your decision means, okay, I ideologically I'm very close to Palestine more than I relate to Canadian people, so I need to take care of Palestinian first. For example, that's what's happening in Iran, and same thing for Israel as well. So like you are being nationalist, just say. I remember Maxime Bernier always say the same thing.
Yeah.
Canada first. I want to take care of Canada. I want to make sure Canada has all the projects in Canada just being successful and everything is moving forward and Canadians are happy. And then, yeah, if we have enough opportunity, enough resources, I want to go fix the problems somewhere like thousands of miles away from my home. But that's interesting. So two guys, I'm going to rephrase that, from two different spectrum, like far, I would say. I'm not sure. I didn't study much. I haven't researched their view. I haven't researched their tweets. So I'm just with a little bit of knowledge. I'm just judge them. And then Dallas Brody, she said, this guy is closer to my views, and I want to go to that direction. At least he's not a troublemaker.
Personally, kind of. Everything you said before that, you were right. You mentioned Maxime Bernier. So I think Maxime Bernier is a much more seasoned politician. So Dallas Brody, she was never a politician. She just got lucky that she got in. She sucked up to the mainstream party, the BC Conservative Party, and she got in. So I don't think she understands politics the way you and I do. Definitely not the way Max does. And I don't think she has the same experience navigating political parties the way Max does. So Maxime Bernier, the leader of the People's Party of Canada, he handled the nationalism thing like perfectly. He said, I am not Israel first. I am not Palestine first. I am Canada first. Dallas Brody, I feel like she walked into a trap. Somebody came to her and said, this guy said that he supports the Holocaust and he hates Jews. And I think they like fed him all these things that exaggerated what he said. And she overreacted. She fired this little, or let this little kid go, Othman. And then the nationalists came after him. And then the two people, the staffers that were working for her, Tim and Paul, I think they got tricked by the establishment uniparty. They're like, oh, you guys can vote her out and take over the party and it'll be so cool. You don't need her. So Tara Armstrong destroyed her legacy. That's how I see this.
Okay. What would have happened, like, just hypothetically, what would have happened if Dulles Brody dismissed both gentlemen, Othman and the other guy? Do you
That's
think
a good
it would
question.
have?
I think there would have been no political fallout, in my opinion.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to. I think that's one of my criticism to Dulles Brody. If you want, you cannot take sides. If you are a leader of a party, the party matters, and you've got to basically think about the public interest as opposed to taking side in one of these childish drama. You have to take the decision that benefits the party, that's better for the party as a whole, not just specifically, I like this guy, I don't like this guy, I want this guy, let go of this guy. It's not about the guy. It's not about the Canadian people that they felt like I had a lot of high hopes in OneBC. I said, okay, look at this. We have Uniparty, we have NDP. I don't want to even talk about them. It just makes me anxious talking about NDP and liberals. And then look at this or conservative party. I mean, that's crazy, man. And so say, oh, there is one party that's being brave, and eventually they decided to speak the truth, and I can relate to them. But somehow you see all this childish drama. It's going to say, oh, okay, what's going on? All right, so continue, Payman.
The party's back. I mean, something happened. It was kind of like a social media drama where they Dulles Brody said, you have 48 hours to give me the party back or else. And then a few days after the 48 hours, I think they just handed the party back to Dulles Brody. I'm guessing Tara Armstrong must be feeling really embarrassed. The other two guys, Paul and Tim, nobody gives it them.
Why? Tara, tell me about Tara Armstrong. Why would she be embarrassed?
She handled it really poorly. Like Dallas, I think she made a mistake with starting the incident, firing Othman. But Tara Armstrong, she came out, she made some really bad statements. Like she said, I have lost faith in Dulles Brody, so I will no longer be in this party. And people are like, who gives a damn if you lost faith? This is about our future. Don't say that. And she tried to take over the party. She made herself the leader. But I think she realized that nobody really supports her. Like tomorrow, before this happened, if she had disappeared off the face of the planet, nobody would have cared. Like the party would have kept going.
Yeah. But, I like Dulles Brody, to be honest with you. I think, as you mentioned, she's not like a politician like Maxime Bernier. That's like, and that's the truth. I think she knows that. I mean, if you look at the Maxime's resume, like he's been in politics for years, and in a very difficult positions. But and Maxime is very cool and calm and collected. But I think Dulles Brody is learning as she's moving forward. But she's brave. She's speaking the truth. And so where are they at right now? When do you think the next election is going to happen? Do you think what would be their strategy to win this election, to get seen by British Columbians?
These are all good questions. When the next election will be, unfortunately, we don't have a functional government. We have the Westminster system. They can call EB as soon as he recognizes that he might win, he'll call an election. So probably whenever the BC Conservative Party holds a leadership race, in the middle of that, he'll call an election.
But if it goes naturally without calling an early election, it would be in 2 years, right?
When was wasn't our last election a year ago?
It was a year ago? I think it's 2 years ago. I don't know.
No, it was right before our April election. It was at like December 2024. That's when they stole the election. There was all that
2000.
irregular.
You're right. You're right.
So it would
You're
go
right.
to 2028, I guess.
Wow, that would be a tough ride. Okay.
Yeah, that would be brutal. Dallas Brody. So she has to win her seat. This is the problem with politics. Like, you have to pander to the voters. And she's from Vancouver Island, if I'm not mistaken. Like they're pretty left of center. Like,
They're
I don't
as
even
left as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to Victoria, that's just horrible. That you're in hell at that point. But
Yeah.
so I understand people are trying to force her. This whole thing was a pressure campaign from the Dominion Society and a couple of others to try to get her to adopt the terminology of remigration, kicking out all of these immigrants that come in. And okay, fine, that's great. There's way too many immigrants. You and I both ran for the PPC because there was too much immigration. She's running in Vancouver Island.
Oh my gosh.
And there's so many old people, and old people they think the Liberal Party is God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. So, like, you think she's not gonna win her seat back? That's a big possibility, huh?
Look, in my opinion, the only reason she's even elected is because she ran for a mainstream party. Like,
That's true.
you know, you and I, we took the hard route. We did the right thing, but we went with the third party, you know, common sense party, an outsider, and we got
Yeah.
wiped out.
Wiped
So
out. Yeah, that's
we'll
so true.
see what happens.
Yeah. You know what? I think we are living in a different era. Now, all these podcasts, all these Canadians, slowly, they're getting more and more engaged because they are like actually the reality. They're seeing the reality right now. They're seeing like I mean NDP. You have NDP as a governor. Like every person in British Columbia can feel what's going on. Like all this craziness about the land acknowledgement, and then eventually they're coming after your house and after your land, and then all the, I'm sorry for my language, garbage they're teaching to your kid in their school. And then look at the healthcare. I mean, this is just something that I mean Canadians are slowly waking up. And to be honest with you, I have high hopes for OneBC, for independent parties with original voice. Something I believe so far it's something different than Uniparty in Canada. So I'm optimistic, Payman. How about you?
I think as the baby boomer generation, they move on to the next life, and then, you know, they can't vote in this life anymore unless they vote Democrat in the U.S. The NDP is going to start losing their voter base, and the youth that are coming up, they're voting. They're pissed off, as you mentioned, because they're the ones that have to pay for this nonsense, and the right is better at messaging them through memes. And I'm guessing that what the NDP is going to do is, all right, guys, we have to push as much garbage, as you put it, through the schools as possible.
Right. Yeah, we have a couple of comments coming on. Yeah, same. He like one of the comments said, I hope they get it together, but I will be more than happy to vote for any honest independent candidate. I mean, a lot of us, they're feeling the same way. And it was funny, when I was running for PPC in North Vancouver, Capilano, I received a lot of emails and notes that basically saying the same thing, like, you know, we are appreciating this honest, independent candidates. But yeah, it was a very difficult election. It was a very difficult election.
You know, you and I, we probably ran in the hard. Well, I'd like to say it was the hardest election. 2019 and 2022 presented their own problems, but ours, like, everybody was under a spell. They said, don't split the vote. and they said, this is the most important election. I have a feeling they're going to try to do the same thing if there's another election federally.
Right.
Don't split the vote. We have to get the liberal. It's like everyone's got amnesia. We can't have another liberal government at this time. Last time we said it, but this time I'm telling you, we're all going to die.
That's so true, man. That's so true. Pemak, anything else you want to add about what's the current state with OneBC? Are they really putting it together? That was a big explosion. I would say implosion from OneBC. And I think they're collecting the pieces now. They have a very tough job to do. A lot of people resigned. I remember Chris, if I say his name right, the director of outreach in OneBC, he was begging to get released from his NDA, so eventually he can speak. Did he get to speak?
I don't think they released him from his NDA, but ever since Dallas Brody got the party back, he got rehired, so he's with the party again.
Okay.
He was always supportive of Dallas Brody. I should have mentioned this. I'm not a member of the party. I'm not. I hope she wins, but if she does something wrong, I'll call it out. I would say, if she's listening, like, what she needs to do, first of all, she needs to form a better relationship with the podcasters, the independent podcasters. And she's got to hit like 1 or 2 or 3 of them a day, just to get a better sense of what's going on in the country and in the world, so that she can do the one thing that she needs to do, is come up with a business plan with a vision, a strategy, a marketing plan, a messaging plan, and really like hit the ground running. I don't even think she should focus on winning the next election. I think she should focus on saving British Columbia. She almost has to run as the prime minister of the independent province of BC. That's what my advice to her would be.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you need a professional team around you, people with political experience, people who understand the priorities. The priorities to save British Columbia, basically. I mean, there's basically no. Maybe my language is too harsh. I would say no valuable projects that really is building right now, is being built in British Columbia. There is a lot of bureaucracy going on. All the money is getting out of British Columbia, all the investments, all the capitals. And that's what I mean by saving British Columbia. Bring back the high-paid job, bring back the rich middle-class people to Canadians, bring back the Canadian dream. Like when you get graduated from school, a lot of young individuals after graduation from school, they somehow accepted the fact they're never going to be a homeowner in their whole life, and that's really sad. I mean, just look at 2 decades ago, and I hear it from a lot of people. Things change.
That's a nationwide problem. That's a Western problem, not being able to own land and the wiping out of the middle class. That's one thing she should definitely tackle. But like, our immediate problem in BC right now, and this is a catastrophe, is this Cowichan land ruling, which is, it's not even David Eby's fault. Like, there's a flaw in our constitution that makes Aboriginal rights supersede property rights. Yeah. So it's coming nationally, federally, and the judges, which are appointed federally, are interpreting it in a certain way. So BC has no recourse. That's why I'm saying, like, if you want to start a secessionist movement, say, BC has to separate, now would be the time.
Now it's a good time. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so much for being nationalist, but that's the reality.
Provincialist, we're provincialist.
Provincialist, yeah, that's so true. Pema, I want to ask you one question. What is from based on your we were both born in Iran. And, I came here almost 2 decades ago. You've been here since you were a little kid. But I want to ask you one thing. What is Canadian identity to you? What does it mean to be Canadian? That's a tough question, right? But I think a lot of Canadians they don't know what does it mean to be a Canadian. What's their identity? Canada is a very young country. Let's be honest. Like 3-4 generation is basically probably not a really long time define the identity of a nation. I mean, you're looking at like Egypt, like China, Iran, all these countries with thousands of years of history. But I mean, based on your knowledge, based on what you experience with talking with a lot of Canadians, with all spectrums of all political angles, what's your observation?
It's a tough one to answer. I look at it historically. So since what was it, 1763, when Canada got Quebec, the French possessions, and then 1784 when we started the English side of Canada, because we took on 50,000 of the worst people that America didn't want after their Revolutionary War. We call them United Empire Loyalists. Both those people that ruled the Canadians back then, they ruled them as slaves, as serfs, as peasants. So to be Canadian means to love to be ruled, to love to be loyal to usually the king, the crown. So that's what I say, and people get really angry. And the reason they get angry is because the concept of being Canadian has changed over the years. Like, go back 100, 150 years, you got farmers and you got farming communities and you got wheat farmers in Saskatchewan. And that adds to the cultural flavor. But since we've urbanized and over half the population in Canada is living in these 15-minute cities, this dense, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, that cultural facade, like the farming culture, the tight-knit community, whatever existed before World War II, that's evaporated. So all that's left is what I said existed when those two people were first created: loyalty, subservience, don't question anything. And I give the story like this every time.
Submissive.
They're submissive, but like, you're an immigrant and you come to North America and you reach a fork in the road. One goes to America. It says you can be anything you want, but you have to work your ass off. The other one says, you're never going to really achieve your dreams, but you don't really have to do anything and everything will be provided.
You're not going to go down. You're not going to go up. Just stay here and just do just being nice and say thank you and sorry a lot, and then
it's socialism. But the sorry thing is another flaw in our character, where we think it's a virtue, but it's a handicap. Like the government takes half your money. You're like, oh, sorry, I didn't pay on time. Sorry.
Yeah, so true. What do you think about United North America?
You mean America?
Yeah, it's one of the questions.
It's better. It's not going to be worse. Like my view would be that if America wants to do what they're going to do, they'll take Alberta and Saskatchewan, and the other provinces they'll turn into a protectorate. They'll be like, give us your resources and we'll keep you safe.
Yeah.
It's better than the alternative, being ruled by these socialist progressive Fabians in Ottawa.
Yeah.
But it's not what I want. I mean, I want everybody in Canada to be able to.
There is a lot of potential to be a much better country, much richer country than United States. I mean, if we look at all the resources and everything we have, but just the uniparty is just, to me, they're stopping every little thing that make Canada prosperous and rich, right?
Yeah, nobody owns land. Think about it. There's 40 million people here. It's the second biggest landmass. Yeah. How the fuck is it that people can't afford land?
It's just cheap dirt. Like, this is soil, right?
Yeah, it's just cheap dirt, as you said. But what happens is the people that vote for the Liberal Party, the boomers, the baby boomer generation, if they depend on their asset values increasing. So if they open up a whole bunch of crown land and they give free land to the youth and the property market collapses, they're not going to vote Liberal. It's this captured system that nobody wants to fix.
That's so true. That's so true. Okay, man. Do you have anything else to add, Payman? Tell me about your life in Florida.
Oh, it's good. That's why I got red eyes. It's dusty here, so I'm outside and I got dust in my eyes. I'm not used to it. It's the people. I'm just in a small town in Florida. The people here are really nice. They're friendly. They're good people. I kind of wish I'd gotten. I'm not here permanently, but I wish I had not wasted so many years of my life in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, that's very tempting to say. I may sell my condo and come to you.
Come on over, yeah.
Become a neighbor.
This is a five-star mobile home I'm in right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Alrighty, buddy. It's always my pleasure to speak with you. I think I learned a lot about OneBC today. I'm hoping OneBC put all this drama aside and think about their priorities and think about the wants and needs of people in British Columbia. They always put their own country first rather than just, wasting a lot of resources and money in Ukraine here and there, and that's it. If you have anything else to add, let me know.
Get involved. Get yourself a membership for OneBC. Get involved. Email them. Offer to volunteer. It's the only way that the party will grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm already a member of OneBC. Yeah, I wish them success, really. I think I don't have any hope with other parties, Conservative, NDP, and then I really hope they put themselves together and progress. Yeah. So thank you so much, Payman. Enjoy your
Thank you very much for having me on.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.